All right, performing set operations. So it says under example 6, given the universe has numbers 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10, and set A has 1, 3, 7, 9. Set B has 3, 7, 8, and 10. Okay. Now we can either use the lining, the roster method, or we can actually do a Venn. So do we want to set it up as a Venn, or do y'all want me to just use the set in the roster method? What do you think? Do y'all want to see it placed in a Venn to help with the actually doing the operation? Okay. So let me write this. In the universe, we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Set A has 1, 3, 7, and 9. And set B has 3, 7, 8, and 10. Okay. So over here, I'm going to draw my Venn. Universe. And you know we got to have 2 circles. A and with B. And you see I made them touch because I hope that you noticed when you looked at the set A and set B and roster method, there's some numbers that are shared. Y'all see that? What numbers do y'all see shared? 3 and what, 7? Okay. So off the top, can I put 3 and 7 in that middle portion of my Venn? What I mean by the middle, where the 2 circles overlap, I'm going to put that 3 and 7, because you said that they're in both A and B, right? Okay. So that means by looking at what's left in A, you got 1 and what? 9. So that's only in the A part, right? And then what would only be in the B part? 8 and 10. Okay. So that means who would be considered in the outside area of the 2 circles? 2, 4, 5, 6, and that's it. Okay, good deal. Now, the operation, now you have just taken what you have in your 2 sets, set A and set B, and what's listed in the universe, and you placed it on the Venn. Do y'all see how we placed it? Do y'all also see I started with what was shared first? That's kind of a given. I always start with my middle, where they overlap. I put those numbers in there first. And then it kind of, I can cancel them out. I can see what's really left on A and what's really left on B. Okay? Now, the actual operation says find, parenthesis, A. That symbol stands for what? Intersection or union? This right here stands for union. So what does union mean? Or. So what word did I give y'all to write to add to union, to or? What does or technically mean? What does the union technically mean? Huh? Okay. I want to know what's in set A or what's in set B, meaning what? Did I not give y'all the word? I gave y'all a word that I'm trying to see if y'all wrote it down. guess y'all didn't. Y'all didn't write down the word total.
Yeah.
Oh, y'all did?
It says total of what is in all sets.
That's the key. I need the total, okay? I need the total of what's in all sets. Just don't do what? Repeat. That's the biggest thing with union. I want to know what's in all sets, but I cannot repeat myself, okay? So if I give you A union with B, that means, okay, what's in all sets, and just don't repeat yourself, okay? So let's write that. A union with B. What would that consist of? 1, 1, 3, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Okay, good. 1, 3, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Now that's A union B. Okay. Now, what does that parenthesis on the outside of that mean? Starts with a C. Flip. Starts with a C. Compliment. Thank you, Chance. Compliment. That's compliment, okay? Now, what does compliment mean? It means everything but this. Don't include this, okay? So you found A union with B. But to complete the operation, it says apostrophe. Meaning, okay, I really want everything but what you just found. That's what that means. I want to know the set you're trying to make is everything but that, what I wrote and read. Okay? So that would technically be who?
Universe.
The things that's sitting outside, you can say the universe is really everybody, but the things sitting outside the bubbles. Do y'all agree? What I have written here, 2, 4, 5, and 6. That would be everything that's not in A or B. Very good. So I'm going to write that. Guess I write it in black.
So we found A, N, B, N was not outside of?
So I did it in parts, meaning this is the answer. The answer is 2, 4, 5, and 6. You telling me what's not union with A and B. Okay? That's what that means. Now, keeping in mind, this is a little, I'm not trying to say algebra, but you always start inside the parentheses first, okay? Now, from the jump, I knew with that little apostrophe on the outside, this is when we get into working this, it means not. Don't include that. But I need to know what this is. That's what I did that for. I can't not include something if I don't know what it is. So I have to show all my steps. So I showed you what is this. That's what this is in red. A union with B was everything in those circles. Y'all agree? But to actually do what the operation says, it says complement of that. Meaning, okay, now that you know what this is, don't include that. Include the other stuff, which was the stuff listed on the outside. That's what that meant. Does that make sense? It's a long way of doing it, but that's how I rationalized it in my head. Let me write down what's in that parenthesis first. Then I look at it like, oh, okay, don't include this. Because especially when you got a lot of numbers. Does that make sense what I'm saying? So that's why I did this. I did what was inside, and then don't include that means, oh, okay, that's this stuff. Okay? Now, you probably could have skipped it. If you knew this means don't include A and B, or A union with B, then you might have already known, okay, don't include what's inside of A and B. It has to be what's on the outside of A and B. With this being our first operation problem, I wrote it all out. Does that make sense? Questions? Okay. Look at the second one. And we're really using the same then. since I switched screens. Okay. So the second one says, well, which is really lowercase b, it says a complement. Now the upside down U stands for who? And, which is intersection. Good. That's an and intersection. With B complement, okay? A complement with B complement. A complement intersecting B complement. Now, personally, you might need to know what the complements are. Yes, no? Just so I'm clear. You see what I'm saying? I might be doing more steps, but this is my thinking process. Before I know what intersects, I need to know what the A complement is. You follow me? So I'm going to write that down. I'm going to write down, okay, what is A complement? That means everybody but what? A. And what A complement stands for? Everybody but A. So that means even what they share. You follow me? So we just looking at what? The 2, 4, 5, 6, and 8 and 10. Does everybody understand? Everybody but what's considered in that A circle. So that's 2, 4, 5, 6, 8, and 10. Okay? Then I'm going to write down B complement. Mean everybody but who? But B. Y'all follow me? Everybody but B. So that would be 1, 2, 4, 5, 6, 9. Very good. You don't include the 3, 7, 8, and 10. Does everybody understand that? That's what complement means. Don't include that letter. Y'all follow me? Now, I'm showing you, I'm going in step process. I ain't found what I'm looking for yet. Okay? Now, I need to do the operation. I just found those complements. Now do what it says. That symbol stands, y'all said, for and, intersecting. So that means what they what? Share. Good. Good. Intersection means what they share, what they got in common. Okay? That's what intersection is. So I'm going to simply say, okay, they got what? 2, 4, 5, and who? 6. Wouldn't that be what they share? Yes? So that's your answer. Would be 2, 4, 5, and 6. Now, you might say, okay, I didn't have to do all that right. Yeah, we're going to get to that point, maybe. Some of us might not. Some of us still might have to show everything. But what this is saying is, I want to know what's not in A that's in common with what's not in B. You follow me? So if I'm saying, okay, what's not in A, what's not in B, wouldn't that technically leave what's sitting on the outside?
Yes.
Y'all follow me? That's the reason why that's your answer. Because if you think it all the way through, you might not have to show them steps. But I'm comfortable with writing it all down and showing what they have in common. But what they have in common would be what's on the outside the bubbles, because I'm not including A nor what's in B. Does that make sense? That's what complement means. I don't want to know what's in A, and I don't want to know what's in B, and I want to know what that share. They gonna share the outside. Does it make sense? If I'm not including neither one. Okay? But like I said, that's my thinking process. If all else, we're going to write it down. Take what I'm looking for is what you do first. If it's in parentheses, write that first. If it's not, you write what each little piece is asking you, then do the and or the or. You follow me? That'd be the last thing I do. Total, that's my union. or my intersection meaning what they share. Okay? Let's look at another one. Oh, we got a couple of them. Look at 7. 7 has what? 2, 4, 6 examples. And again, mark out those Roman numerals. And this example came out the textbook. I don't know why they gave these funny symbols. I'm gonna change these some of these symbols because I ain't gonna make that symbol an X. Well, that's a lot to rewrite over and over. And just mark after 100, just put 10. And let that one be 2. And then out here in this little space, just make that 66. Hey, I don't know why they picked up some hard looking symbols. Okay. Here's our first operation. We have on A, and what's that symbol? Union B. Okay, A union B. So all I want to know is A union B, meaning what?
What's in A and what's in B?
What's in A, what's in B, and don't what? Repeat. Okay, that's all that means. A union B would be the pi symbol, the little e, the square root of 2, the square root of -1, x, 10, and what? 2? Wouldn't that be everybody? And if you need to, just for notes, remember union means total. Or if you want to put out beside it, together. Put it together, all of it together. A and B together. Okay. B, you have parentheses, A, union B, and then I threw an apostrophe meaning complement, right? Now, what's inside that parenthesis is exactly what you just did on what? On A. Do you see that? It's the same thing we just did. What's inside here? A union B. Ain't that this up here? So if I'm telling you, you already got it written, so I'm trying to show you, make sure you watchful, so you have to write it again. That is A union B. So if I'm telling you to do the complement of that, meaning don't what? Include A union B. So that just leaves who? 66. Very good. Just leaves 66. Does that make sense? No? Yes. Ask me questions.
Say it one more time.
Now, I'm just saving myself from writing. That's all I was doing, saving myself from writing. A union, but keep in mind, you always do what's inside this parenthesis first. But A union B, meaning I want A and B together. You've already done all that. That's this. That's all of this. So if this is what A union B is, everything that's here, then the complement of that, that's really the problem. The problem is saying the complement of that. That means don't use this. If I don't use this, that only leaves me with who? 66.
So you don't want us to do the parentheses thing on the test?
Do I want you to do what's yeah. Oh, you mean write it out?
Yeah, on the test.
If you need to. But I was, we already wrote it. That's the only thing I was saying. We just wrote it. Okay? Now, if this would have been something different, I would have wrote it out for you. But since we just wrote it, that's the reason I said look up. That's what that was. So I didn't write it again. That makes sense? Okay. C, it says A, and that symbol's what? Intersection B. A intersection B. Meaning what?
Everything in A and B, but the intersection.
Now, intersection don't mean what's in both of them now.
Just the three, just the
The negative square root of 1 and square root of 2. Remember, intersection means where they overlap, what they share. That's what intersection means, okay? I don't want to know what's in both of them as far as singly, all together. I want to know what they share, as in what's in both of them, okay? So that would be the square root of 2 and the square root of negative 1. Do y'all agree? Okay. If you need to write on this one, in both. That's what that intersection means, in both. Okay. Now, D, you got in parentheses, A intersection B, but then I asked you for the what? Complement.
So everything in A and B. Everything is not in A. Everything is not in A. Did they share, right? Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Everything that's in A and B
And on the outside,
and on the outside, but not what they would share. Good. Because you just did what was in that middle. The middle actually, not in the middle, the parentheses, I mean. This right here is C. That means what they have in what? Common. Right? So that means I don't want to include what they got in common, right? The square root of 2 and the square root of negative 1. I need everybody else. So that would be that's a pi symbol. Pi E, X, 10, 2, and 6, 6. Does that make sense? Okay. Okay. I can write at the bottom. I'll be thinking about my little space. E, we have A complement intersection B. A complement intersection B. Excuse me. Now you see what's B. But what would A complement mean? What's not in A. So if you need to write that down, A complement would be what's not in A. That would be X, 10, 2, and what, 6, 6? And if you need to, I'll write it down here too. But you should be able to see it. But what's in B, that looks funny. And it say for the complement of B. It just says straight up B. B has x 10 to the square root of 2 and the square root of negative 1. So intersection just means what they have in what? Common. So that would be x 10 and 2. Right?
What A and B have in common?
Complement A.
Complement. Yeah.
Y'all ain't saying nothing. Y'all not saying nothing.
So the answer is X 10 and 2.
X 10 and 2. Wouldn't it be what they have in common? Where I lose yet. Now, what I wrote down there was not A. That's complement A. That's just my little, I wrote this arrow to show complement A. That's what complement A is. Y'all told me that's what? Everything that's not in A, right? Everything that's not in A. That's why I got the X, the 10, the 2, and the 6, 6. Now, this doesn't say complement B. It just say regular old B. I wrote it, but you didn't have to. You could have looked up here at what's in B. What's in B is just X, 10, 2, and them two things. So, what is that? Now, keep in mind, all I'm doing is listing it so I can see it. This is the operation. Intersection means what they got in common. Well, they both got a 10, an X, and a 2. So that's the answer. Question. Y'all give me some funny looks.
So we just give it what's in B, right? But the answer is just what's in B.
What's in B?
Yeah, that's the answer. Like, what we just give it what's in B.
Whatever, let's see, y'all make me think really hard. Whatever is not in A, whatever is not in A, intersecting with what's in B, yes. Because you're taking this off. Yeah, so it'd be just what's in B. Mm-hmm. Well, we got one more. Is there an F on this? Okay. F says A union with what? B complement? A union with B complement? A union with B. Union meaning I want it all together, right? So I want A and what's in you? Okay, B complement means everybody but B, right? So if you write that together, you just have who? Pi E and 666. Y'all agree? Or do I need to write it down? Y'all see what's in A. I'm just doing my little arrow. What's in A is nothing but pi E, the square root of 2, and the square root of negative 1. And B complement would mean everybody but the B, right? Which would be pi E and 66. Now, what you call it means all of it. So what would that be? Now I got it written down there for you. What would all of it be? Because that's what union means, all of it. Pi E. Would I not include the square root of 2 and the square root of negative 1 and 66? Why? It might not be in the B complement, but it is in the A. Does that make sense? So with it being union, you got to include all of it. Okay? So that would be your pi, your E, the square root, and the 66. I just don't repeat the pi and the E. Okay? Because I already have it listed one time.
So it will include what they share.